The South African University's boat race will take place this week from Thursday to Saturday at its home on the Kowie River in Port Alfred. It'll be historic as the women will be for the first time racing the same distance as the men's 8. Joining us to speak more about this is Erin Herschel, who heads up rowing for universities, and Marco Sass, who is from the National Rowing Portfolio of Transformation and Development. Good evening and welcome to the both of you. Erin, can you tell me how you guys came to this decision? Exciting for women's rowing.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. We came to this decision as we've been trying to make improvements and really build women's rowing in South Africa, and we thought there's always more room to improve, and just decided to go ahead with the step and lengthen the women's race to the full distance that the men do, which is about 5 kilometers.
Marco, Erin said to me that you've been working very closely with her to get this over the line. Can you maybe just tell us a little bit about the process, how much engagement was there with some of the women crews that will actually be participating from the different universities this coming week?
Certainly. So there were various meetings that were held leading up to this decision. So we met with the women's captains from each university just to gauge their thought process around the new change that we are going with into the right direction. And a lot of positive feedback came back from these meetings. Also met with a lot of the trustees that head up university rowing within South Africa. And we also got a good feedback from them. And from there on, we are going to be implementing these changes. So there was positive feedback from both sides. From the committee and from the women within rowing South Africa. So it was quite a lengthy process, but luckily we got to where we are now, which is implementing the change.
Erin, why did it take so long? The women have been racing in this event since 1988.
Very, very good question. I think, especially in something within development, within any category, I believe it's a process that doesn't happen overnight. It's a road that has a lot of progressions and a lot of steps on the way. So before implementing this, we have implemented other strategies to improve women's rowing, such as alternating years on who ends this prestigious regatta. And this year it is the women, in fact, ending the regatta. And we've slowly but surely, it's building to build women's rowing in South Africa, as it is quite a small portion of rowing. And we are building it step by step each way to get it to its full potential. But I believe in development, there's always room for more improvement. You can develop to time's end. But I think to get back to the question was that why did it take us so long, is I think this was just part of the road that we were met right now, and it was our goal for now, as to previous years where we had different goals for the women, as I mentioned, with the alternating years.
The university's boat race is it's built on the Oxford-Cambridge boat race, and it's always much longer than your Olympic distances. It's part of the appeal, part of the university rivalry that we've seen, obviously not only in the UK but also here in South Africa. Marco, in your deliberations with some of the ladies captains, this is going to be about 1.5 kilometers more. Are they physically up to the challenge?
Well, certainly. So leading up to this whole event, when they were doing the shorter distance, they were doing exactly the same training as the men. So a 5-kilometer ergo trial and long distance training on the water, in the boats, and on the ergo machines, in the gyms and everything. So the training was there. And obviously we wouldn't have taken the step if we felt that the athletes weren't ready to take the step. So, yeah, definitely they are prepared. They've been doing the same training as the men for years, so it's only right that they race the same distance.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Kowie River, where they will be competing this coming week?
Sure. So Kowie River, obviously located in Port Alfred, quite a long treacherous river when it wants to be. The conditions change every 5 minutes, it seems, to the athletes. and the waves can be quite daunting for the newcomers onto the river itself. But yeah, it's a very long, winding course. So the drivers of the boats, they've got a long road ahead in terms of training and getting the boats onto the water and ensuring that they take the best lines possible. And yeah, it's a really exciting race just to be on that river with the current and high and low tides. It's truly an amazing experience for any rowing athlete in South Africa.
It comes with a lot of heritage, a lot of tradition, and Erin, this is just another step in making it historic. There are 10 men's crews, only 9 women's crews in the A division. When will we see that being level?
I think COVID-19 had a really big impact on a lot of crews, especially in terms of funding, resources, and just a break in the continuity of that clubs had. So we've been seeing a lot of clubs struggle with recruitment, and so I think that plays a really big part. But we are growing it compared to last year. Of 2021, are more women's crews out there. But I think just before COVID-19 hit in 2019, there were 11 women's crews. So we're aiming to get there and higher.
That is Erin Herschel, who heads up rowing for universities, and Marco Sass, who is from the National Rowing Portfolio of Transformation and Development, about the historic move that the South African Universities boat race is taking. That takes place in Port Alfred starting from Thursday through to Saturday. We thank you both for your time here on Newzroom Afrika.